Bedtime Stories with the Story Club for Kids. Hello, children. It's time to wind up for the day and settle down for the night. I hope all of you have brushed your teeth and are ready for bed. Now, let's begin our first bedtime story for tonight. This story is written by a talented little boy called Hiyansh Joshi, who is just like all of you. The name of this story is The Rescue Rabblets. Once upon a time, there lived 4 rabbits in a jungle named Sunny, Bunny, Funny, and Gunny. These 4 rabbits were gifted with special powers. Each of them had a signal band. They used it to rescue animals from hunters. Sunny had laser power, which could be used only for good work and rescuing animals. Bunny could fly with supersonic speed. Funny had the power to spread happiness and make everyone happy. And Gunny could read minds and fulfill anyone's dreams and wishes. One day, all 4 rabbits decided to invite their friend Dreamy the deer for lunch and have carrots with her. They were excited to give their friend a treat and celebrate their victory of saving a rhino from the hunters. They went to Dreamy's little house but found out that she was missing. They searched for the deer in every corner of the jungle. The rabbits decided to find their dear friend and started a mission to rescue Dreamy. They activated their signal bands and tracked her location by using sound waves from a distance. They found that she was captured in the cage by the hunter. The rescue rablets wore their masks and bands and headed towards Dreamy. Bunny flew and took his friend Sunny along with him to the tracked location. They reached the site near the hills, and it grew darker. Sunny had the extraordinary power of the laser in his band. He targeted the laser on the metal bars of the cage and melted the cage bars. On the other hand, Bunny flew at supersonic speed, quickly grabbed Dreamy, and flew away to a safe location. Funny and Gunny were eagerly waiting for Dreamy to return safely. Dreamy was very scared and sad. She was shivering in fear and was very hungry. She wanted to go back home and be with her mother. Gunny started to read her mind. He could sense fear in Dreamy the deer. He could read minds and fulfill anyone's dreams and wishes. He touched his magic band, and within a second, with the magic, Dreamy reached her home and saw her mother. Dreamy was surprised at how she reached her home in the blink of an eye. However, she was still terrified and sad. Funny had the power to spread happiness. He created a vast wonderland park for Dreamy where she could enjoy snow parks, fun rides, chocolate huts, and friendly people and animals who could survive and enjoy together. All 4 were truly the rescue rablets, who not only saved Dreamy but also made her day happy. They showed her that humans and animals can stay together peacefully at the same time. There are still good people in the world. The forest officers punished the people who captured Dreamy, as the Rescue Rabblets had informed them with their magic bands. All 4 rablets rescued their dear friend Dreamy. They were happy and all of them enjoyed dinner. The message they want to spread is not to harm animals. The next day, they had a signal on their band from the forest officer. They read it and looked at each other. This time, it was a tiger that had been captured by the hunters. The rablets are back on mission. The end. A special thank you to Hiyansh Joshi for writing such a wonderful story with such a wonderful positive message about being kind to animals. And now, let us listen to our next story. This is a Tenali Rama story called A Handful of Grain or 1,000 Gold Coins. There was a woman named Vidyulata in the Vijayanagara kingdom. She was proud of her accomplishments in the field of fine arts and was arrogant too. One day, she put up a board in front of her house. On the board, it was written that whoever would defeat her wit, intelligence, wisdom, and knowledge in ancient books, she would reward that person with 1,000 gold coins. Many scholars took the challenge but could not defeat her. Days passed, but no one could defeat her. One day, a man selling firewood was shouting on top of his voice just outside her house. When this went on for quite some time, Vidyulata got irritated. She came outside and asked him to sell her the firewood. The man, hearing that, said that he did not want to sell his firewood in exchange for money, but for a handful of grain. Vidyulata agreed and asked him to dump the firewood in her backyard. The man insisted that she did not understand what he had actually asked for. He further told her that now, if she couldn't pay the exact price of a handful of grain, then she must give the 1,000 gold coins and also take off the board asking people to come for an intellectual argument of wisdom with her. Vidyulata got angry and said, "What are you saying?" The vendor replied that it was not nonsense and she had failed to understand what he meant, and hence she had lost in the war of words. When she heard that she had lost, she got even more angry. After a heated argument between the two, Vidyulata approached the court of the king. The judge heard what Vidyulata had to say. Then he asked the firewood seller what he wanted. He told the judge that in lieu of the firewood, he had asked her for a handful of grain, which means a grain which would fit in her hand. She had failed to understand such a simple thing. She isn't as wise as she assumes to be, and therefore should take off the board that she had put up in front of her house. The judge was impressed by the firewood seller's intelligence and wit and asked Vidyulata to pay him 1,000 gold coins and to take off the board outside her house. Tenali Rama had actually disguised himself as the firewood seller in order to defeat Vidyulata and show her that you have to be humble about your intelligence, your achievements, and your wisdom. Vidyulata accepted defeat and took off the board from outside her house. The end. And that's all for tonight. Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the bedbugs bite. Bye bye, children.